following program is a public service of Gulf Coast State College, WKGC, and Commodore Productions. And now, the Military Hour with Cary Deeter.
Welcome to another edition of Military Hour. I've got a very special brother, and I also consider him a friend, and his name is Ben Rossa, and he called me a liar because he thought this was radio. Welcome, Ben Rossa.
Thanks for having me.
Iron Man.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. We're glad you're here.
A pleasure.
Because you're a giver, you're a doer, and you're a military brother, and you can start this any way you want. If you want to talk about your previous military, or you want to talk about Iron Man, or interweave them, it's your show, brother.
Well, you know, I'm proud to be a retired veteran from the Air Force here in Tyndall. 26 years Air Force, aircraft maintenance. Been retired 12 years and loving every minute of it. It's a village, you know. It's always been down to a village, and we seem to forget that in the times of today.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, in light of everything that's happened around this community, we need to get back to being a village and being good to each other.
And that is truth.
Oh, that's the God's honest truth right there.
Yep.
That's it doesn't matter where you come from or where you're going. You can get each other there together, and you know, I mean, you have to be compassionate.
Yep.
As I was just telling you, I've been here since '97, and I retired in 2007, and I moved away in 2017.
Yep.
In hindsight and every other thing is, I feel lucky that I left because I missed the disaster of a storm. I also feel guilty the fact that I wasn't here to be able to do something more than just pray and more than little bits and pieces at a time. It hurts, you know. I mean, my first time back was about a month after the storm, and fortunately we were able to, I was able to come back and give a little. I was just in the right place at the right time. One of my other jobs is I'm the director of Ironman Florida here in Panama City Beach and the Ironman 70.3 Gulf Coast race.
Please let me interrupt you for just 1 second.
Please do.
Okay. First off, don't feel guilty. We as a community are still helping one another. But I know personally, and I believe many of our brothers and sisters that know you as a military brother and a sister are elated that you have become married and you found a new place to live in New Hampshire. No, we're excited and happy for you.
Found the right one.
And thank God you weren't here during the storm. Who knows? You may have not survived it. We never know. None of us do.
Well,
but, and I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We love you. We always have. It's because you're almost as goofy as me, but you're not as goofy
prettier.
as I am. Well, you're definitely no prettier. But in any event, no, I think I can say that safely on behalf of all our brothers and sisters here. We love you. We know where your heart is, and we know what you do. Now, I'm going to shut up, and please pick up where you left off.
Well, I mean, you know, we're brothers in arms, and we're brothers in life, and sisters, and the rest of the world doesn't get to appreciate the brotherhood we have in the military.
Right.
It's solid, and it's you know, I'm one of those guys that accepts the relationships that I have, and I cherish the ones no matter how small or large they are. But as my time in Panama City, I can go all over the place, but my time in Panama City, there was a chief out on Tyndall that asked me if I'd like to help volunteer at an Ironman event in Panama City Beach back in '99. And I said, sounds like fun. And I went out there in '99. I started volunteering, and really lucky to find similar people as the military people were, and more it became the replacement. In hindsight, you know, it just came about. But
Roger.
I volunteered for several years, and then they started asking me if I'd like to travel a little bit and make a little extra side money while I was still active duty. And I took it, and I took the bait, and I've fallen in love with the same type of people. Triathlon, as the outside world knows it, is when you're in behind the scenes, it's a little different. It's a very, very, very strong brotherhood, sisterhood. It's a great sport, which I'm not one of. you know, but it's really fun to mingle with them. So I direct Ironman Florida, and that race is in November. And clearly, November of last year, November 2nd, it would have been, with the devastation of the hurricane the month before rather. We knew we weren't going to have a race in Panama City Beach, even though it looked like Panama City Beach was spared. As an organization, as a community, Panama City Beach, all the authorities, the right thing to do was cancel the race.
That's understandable.
And it's a pretty easy solution to a big problem with athletes that train for a year to come somewhere, and they've made their arrangements, they've made their flights and everything to take them to where they want to go. Our motto is anything's possible, and we help these people get to their goal, their dream. So, you know, they threw a few ideas around, and what happened was we actually moved the race, and we moved it to Haines City, Florida.
Haines City, okay.
Haines City, down in Central Florida.
Central Florida, yeah.
It's about 5 hours from here. They already have a half-distance race, which is the 70.3 race in town. So our next best solution, instead of just canceling, you know, we have people coming from all over the world. I think we had 50 countries the year before last.
Right.
So, you know, taking them into consideration, even though the move was a big deal for them, we decided to try and go ahead and pull off an event. We went down for some meetings, and the city said yes. They welcomed us. I mean, they, of all communities, know the devastation of a hurricane, because it wasn't 5 years ago they had four hurricanes cross their path.
Yep.
You know, it just took month after month. So
Thank you, Haines City.
They were in agreement that they could help us out, and they knew the importance of it. They knew it to our community, and what they could do to help our community recover, and they did. So we put together a race, which at the end of the day, it was an amazing race. We ended up with only about 1,800 athletes from about 2,800. We displaced the others. Some of them took options in Texas, but a lot of them were really, really pleased to come down to Haines City and support what we were trying to do. So
1,800 participants, and there were originally going to be 2,800.
We had 3,300 signed up, and we'd probably end up with about 2,800 on race day in Panama City Beach.
I may be wrong, but I would think most people can't fathom that many people showing up for like one event as participants.
It's
it's just amazing.
Yeah, and I should move back a little bit. Ironman, as everybody knows it in our community, they know Ironman comes every year, twice a year. Most people say they know what it is, and it's a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike, followed by a 26.2 mile run. You have 17 hours to do it, and it's quite the goal.
It's grueling.
It's amazing. I don't know how they do it. But, you know, keeping in mind of what they put into getting to the start, and they're only a month away, you know, we thought the right thing to do, and we made it work. So we moved to Haines City. A lot of the stuff that we did fundraisers for Panama City. We did hurricane relief shirts for our people and the athletes. We took donations. You know, we did a lot of things. Even in the registration lines, we put out cards that people could just send best wishes to the community. We pulled off the event, and then at the end of the events, we always have product. And I've got a group of people that I work for that are as passionate about it as I am. I'm clearly more connected to the community. They don't know how we live around here. So I was lucky enough, right place, right time. I kept one budget truck, a big 26-footer behind.
Wow.
And we filled it up with leftover product. And I was the lucky guy to bring it up here.
Well, good for
so
you.
It was a month later, and you know, anything from T-shirts to backpacks. I stopped at Waller Elementary and unloaded a pallet of stuff and just made a few stops. It went fast.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I hope it reached somebody that needed something. Whether it was a T-shirt. We typically on a regular basis donate our leftover T-shirts to elementary schools.
Yeah.
And they use them as smocks. So you know, they don't ruin the kids' clothes, and they have a little something. Everybody needs a little help somewhere, and,
of course.
And it's really the least we can do. So everything that comes out of the Ironman, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today is to, you know, let the community know we're not going anywhere. We're part of this community. Ironman is 21 years old now. It's the second oldest in the States.
And you're 20 years in as a helper and a volunteer, correct?
Yeah, I've been
told.
involved all 21 years. I started race directing about in 2008. So I've been involved, and it's been a very good, my military background helped me out enormously. The structure and the ability to, just kind of, it helped. So,
of course.
So we're ready to come back. We wanted to make sure the community was ready for us to come back, and we know quite well that there's a dividing line. I don't have to tell anybody where it is. It's the bridge.
Yeah.
And we had athletes displaced and inconvenienced, and they were griping about little things about, oh no, we can't do that. And at first we said, just keep in mind what happened in Panama City. Just think about that. And to some extent, it's completely accurate. You really have to consider that. But then on the other side of it, we had to consider their reality.
Sure.
You got a young guy that trained all year, and he saved his pennies, and he's spending $3,000 to come across country. That's his reality. He doesn't not care about us in the community.
Right.
That's what it seems like to the people in the community. That's really like the only thing that matters is the community, and that's true. That's absolutely true. But there are realities to other people.
Of course.
So with all that in mind, we did the right thing. We had we had the event for them. We didn't please everyone, and we never will. But we were able to generate a lot of funds. We have our foundation. Ironman has a foundation, which it's our volunteer base for all of our events are funded by our foundation. So if a church group comes out or a Boy Scout troop comes out, they receive a grant, monetary grant for their nonprofit.
Huh.
We can't do anything without volunteers. Clearly, businesses, volunteer groups, nonprofits all need volunteers to help.
Of course,
help them succeed.
Absolutely.
So we have a budget for volunteers. We have, probably 50 groups that come out and help us, and they receive a donation for their charities, which is a win-win.
I was unaware that was actually a procedure. I
It's
had
not
no
just
idea.
come out and do it for nothing. Here's your
Right.
T-shirt. We have groups that come out. We have groups that have been out here all 20 years.
Wow.
So that's a good thing. And then now,
Sure.
in hindsight, excuse me, we had the folks here in the community, and keep in mind, I felt very close to the community, but now I'm 5 hours away. I can't help you at all. And I felt like I should have been here, but I also had a thing to do down there. So it was funny. We had the community, our volunteers from here, saying, I want my shirt. I want to be normal. The normalcy word is
Right.
probably the biggest word used right now. They wanted to feel normal about the event. They wanted to feel normal in their life for a second. So, that hit us pretty hard. We wanted to give back, and we raised money down there, and we did a lot of stuff so far, and we're not done. We're coming back. We have our half distance race coming in May. We never turned that one off. That was always on. The Ironman Florida race in November of 19, the registration was held back. So we didn't even consider it until we really put our boots on the ground.
Right.
Talked to
Sure.
the authorities, I just had a meeting with emergency services. Hey, are there any shortfalls? Anything that you're being tasked with that can't meet what we need as an event?
Sure.
Because
To coordinate those requirements.
Right. So, we went through all that, and it went very well. It seems like we can be supported, and I'm really knocking on wood right now that the half distance race is before the full distance race. It's kind of a test to see.
I was going to say, there's your precursor to the big event.
Exactly.
Good
See
deal.
how it goes, because we're going to be asking for volunteers. We have people calling us again. I had a mother from a school, I think from Arnold, call me the other day and say, hey, our group needs some charitables. What can we do? So I was hesitant to ask for volunteers, knowing what's going on over there, because you're volunteering every day, every night. You go to work and you come home and you help the neighbor. So that's already really, really deep. So I was pleased to hear it, and a lot of people said they need, and we need them as much as they need us. So we have a race on May 11th, Mother's Day Saturday. It's been here for, the Gulf Coast race is actually 38 years old.
Wow.
So it's
I
the second,
did not know that at
It's
all.
the second oldest in the country.
Not even close.
It's just recently branded by Ironman. So we were only 3 years old Ironman, but it's been
Right.
here 38 years. And that the Gulf Coast Triathlon organization before us has been giving back to the community for 38 years. We wanted to continue that, and we wanted that race to succeed, and it did.
Sure.
We were very fortunate to take the race over when it was suffering at about 600 athletes. And the first year we branded it, we had 1,600 athletes.
Wow.
So it's the brand and it's the resources that we have available to us to be able to execute that
Makes sense.
that thing. And it's, I'm sure the Gulf Coast committee is pleased that we can keep it on, because they started in a great event. So it's all tied in. Everything it's all tied in. The military thing with me is embedded in our community. It's not
Of
going
course.
anywhere, and I was more than pleased, like everyone else was, that they announced that Tyndall's coming back. They put,
Oh, yeah.
that is truly a blessing.
Major.
Because what if they didn't? They're closing bases down all the time, and it would be a perfect time to close a base.
Yeah.
So I'm really
then-
pleased that they're back.
Then there'd be more blight on this area.
Yeah, and,
No work.
and it's just a matter of 4 miles. And I've talked to a lot of people all week about the hurricane and what effects it had, and no one wants it to happen to anyone.
Oh,
Like
no.
you said, it's not a misery loves company. It's like, I'm glad you weren't here.
Yeah.
Enough people are hurting. And as a member of the community, and even I don't live here anymore. I've moved away, but I'm still a member of this community, and we're here for each other, and we need each other to recover.
You always will be a member. Come on. You know that.
I'm here. I'm just waiting to get out of the cold and come back.
Yeah.
It'll only be a few years.
Yeah. You can have the cold.
But we've formed these relationships.
Right.
The base. The city, Panama City, the Lynn Haven, all the people, all the groups are embedded. They love the event as much as we love the event. So it's a win-win. The only downside is that everybody sees that don't know what Ironman is, the traffic.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as bad as it is now, we're going to have some traffic, but traffic is business.
Exactly.
And the economic impact that hits our cities and our communities is necessary. There's been too many tourist communities roll up their carpets and close down. So
Right.
we're not one of them. We've got a port that's thriving. We've got a base that's coming
Amen.
back.
Yep.
And
Amen.
even our event, which goes all the way out into Youngstown, and those people don't see a lot of the benefit of it. But I'm guessing that some of their people's children's work in the beach, so they benefit.
Of course they do.
We take a lot into consideration in planning, roads we use, how we use it. We try and get all the communication out that we can, and clearly, if I said anything to anybody, communication.
Oh, that's key.
You had zero during the recovery first couple days, how much you needed. And
Well, you excuse me for interrupting you again. You may not know this, and I'm just going to hit 2 high points real quick. One is on that communication. Gulf Coast State College and the personnel that are employed here and volunteer here were at the EOC reestablishing communication.
Nice.
Because we're the public mouth
Right.
for emergency broadcast. And they stayed on point, in place at the EOC. You know where it's at.
Oh yeah, I just talked to Frankie Lum.
Up 77.
I just met him today.
So, and thank God and thank Gulf Coast for, number one, letting me have so much autonomy with this show, and number 2, for everything they do for the community. It's not just to benefit Gulf Coast State College.
Right.
They are part and parcel of this community,
they're-
bar none. And I ain't got to say that to kiss anybody's butt either, because they already know I'm a goofball, and you've known it for years.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but I know you're tracking.
The
You're with
trip
me.
to the wall was great.
Yeah, I hear. Oh gosh, we're going again
You
this
forget?
year.
Well, I can't make that.
I'm putting together a group now to go. But anyway, the other thing, and I was not aware of this until I first experienced when I was way back in '08 when I first came here, working in one of the resorts, and the Ironman comes to town, and people have rented,
Right.
rooms and all, and obviously they spent good money to rent those rooms. rooms, those condos. And then after it was over and they're all going back to their countries, I was amazed so many of them came from so many different countries. But then one fella forgot an extra wheel for his bicycle.
Yeah.
And when I was talking,
$1,000 wheel.
yeah, but when I was talking to him and he told me how much that wheel was, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's a down payment on a car.
Yeah,
I think it was
car.
like the whole bicycle's
Yeah.
a whole car.
Yeah.
And I found out the price of the bicycles. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
30 grand? Are you kidding me?
It's it's amazing.
So I said that for the young man that you mentioned that had saved his pennies for $3,000.
Yeah.
Who knows what he has in his bike?
Yeah. Like I said, I took it the same way probably everybody took it. It's like, think about us here. Think about everybody that's displaced. Think about what's happened to their homes.
Right.
And like I said, eventually I realized that, everybody has their own reality. It doesn't mean they don't care about you here.
Right.
They
Exactly.
really do care. And we're getting notes and messages. One of the first things was all the athletes said, why don't we just cancel the race and come in here and help? Clearly, the first month of the disaster, it wasn't possible. You were recovering, the emergency services, reestablishing communication. 1,500 athletes wouldn't have helped you anything. They just got in the way. You have to organize, and clearly that's happening. And I get the feeling that, like anything else, it's not happening as fast as we want it to. But there's so many layers of how it has to get done.
Yes.
You have to have the electricity in
Correct.
your house. You have to have the pole for the electricity. You can't have electricity to get the pole. I heard those stories all the time.
There's still poles down.
They're still down.
Sure.
I heard a story that a lady just rented a place without electricity, and the landlord won't fix it for him. I said, why'd you rent it in the first place? But, maybe she was that needy, and I know it was just 2 nights ago. She spent the night with her daughter at her mother's house.
Yeah.
Because it was too cold.
I know of a man that's renting a mobile home that's virtually destroyed, and he's been running a generator since 10 October. Brother,
Yeah.
this is March, and the person that owns this mobile home will not repair it. So this guy's there burning gasoline
Gotta find
to
him
run.
somewhere to go.
And he's got nowhere to go. There's nothing available. If it is, the prices are through the roof.
Yeah, I just, my message is, I am part of this community. I'm part of 23 years now of it, and even though I live, 1,400 miles away, I come back at least 4 to 6 times a year. Every time I come back, I'm going to have a plan to be able to see if I can help one person. And,
I hear you.
I'm one of those guys when you say you can't change things, and if I can change one person or one person can change me, we made a difference.
Amen, brother.
We made a change. So,
That's it.
We're a band of brothers, and you're reaching out.
Yep.
You remember the story I told you about my athlete that got run over.
Yes.
And we lost
And
an
his
athlete
family.
in Jacksonville a month before the event.
Yes, I remember.
And the American Legion came in, and I just said, hey, would you take his shirt around the course for his dad just to have his son present?
Yep.
And the Legion ponied up and said, why doesn't he just drive with us?
There you
go. His dad was able to take the ride on the course to see what his son was involved in, which he didn't really know.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was just an amazing thing. Everybody's got a reason. Everybody's challenging each other.
All right, we're both going to start crying. They don't want to see old guys cry, okay? But it's all good.
We've got to be better to each other. I'm not the first person that said it. I don't have all the answers, but you just have to be willing. Turn the cheek and just.
Yeah, but you said it. Each one reach one. That's the way to do it. That's what I say. Each one reach one. You help who you can help when you can help.
We're in a society now that we can't fix it from the top down. We got to fix it from the bottom up.
Absolutely, amen.
And that's the best recovery for the neighborhoods that are so devastated that, you pick each other by the bootstraps and hey, what do you need today? And,
exactly.
And just don't forget it, because we have a tendency to have a natural disaster or a not so natural disaster, and we came together as a country, and a year later we're like back to the same ruthless people that we. And it's sad. We got to remember that we're there for each other in the deepest moment. And
so here's an example too, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I forget things so quickly. So neighbors helping neighbors. And I've got a retired Air Force. I try not to hold that against him.
That's all
but
right. I can
anyway,
take you.
Yeah, I know you're a big
I'm
boy.
the Air
You can
Force
take
guy
it.
too.
I know. I pick on you as well. But in any event, we can pick on each other. So I call Walter, wonderful guy, 71-year-old, non-vet. He's a beast, man. Works from sun up to sundown. So I need an axe. Okay? So, hey, Walter, hey, can I borrow your axe? Sure, no problem. Meet me at the fence. Boom, get the axe. So one of the young people that's there is a volunteer at our house today. He's using this axe. Another guy's using another axe. And they used it for maybe 2-3 hours. And he comes in, he goes, man, I broke this axe. I'm like, you didn't break the axe. It's the axe handle. I said, no problems, no worries, don't worry about it. Of course, it was Walter's.
Plenty of trees.
So now here's me, okay? And I think a lot of people are just like me. I ain't nobody special. So now, I didn't tell Walter his axe is broken. I'm going to go buy Walter a new axe, but that axe head is primo. I mean, it's like a razor.
Yeah.
So anyways, and I'm going to buy him an axe handle to fix the other one with. And so here you go. Now you got 2. All right? Why not?
It'll come back.
Why wouldn't it? Yes,
It'll
of
come back.
course it'll come back.
That's my right now. I have to plan better on coming back because, I'm just one guy and I don't have any tools with me. So, got a plan. Like I said, I'm proud to say our foundation and is coming back and we have 2 opportunities a year to come back. We have some projects planned. I think we're going down to Mexico Beach to give them a little something. We'll be in, even if it's shirts, we're tied to the community. Anything we can do to help, and
Sure.
our athletes as well, and our staff. My staff is in Tampa. The benefit to that is they'll be driving up, so I'm hoping that we get a nice crew of people up in May and November to be able to just come out and say, what can we do? Just what can we do to make it easier for you?
If there's anything I can do, you let me know. I'll help.
Yeah, I'll be looking for.
So-
we need direction. We have to be organized.
And you got
We're not
my
gonna
number.
make a difference. We're just going to get in the way if we don't have a plan.
Yeah.
So, an opportunity to come to talk to you and this great program you guys have here. It's a win-win for everybody.
It is.
Communication, like anything else,
Yeah,
is the most important thing.
absolutely.
In
And this
your
isn't about
marriages,
me.
in your friendships,
Yeah,
anywhere. So. Really, my purpose here today is you have an opportunity to say something. We know on the priority list of things right now, an Ironman event is not, but we can help, and we can
Of
help the
course.
community as much as we can,
and you will.
and we will. Yeah, there's no doubt. It's you're going to see some traffic. You're going to see some humbled athletes this year that see things that they're not used to seeing in one of our events. Come November, we're out on Blue Springs Road. That road was pretty tore up
Yeah.
as well. So there's enough to see, and people will be able to help. I know our athletes will. So I'm really proud to be able to be in a spot that I can help people.
Of course.
And I didn't get here by myself.
None of us do.
I'm nowhere in the top section, but a lot of people pick me up by the bootstraps a lot of times.
Yep, me too.
So-
Of course, I'm in that short section,
I don't have a big step either, so.
But hey, we're kind of running out of
I'm a little
time.
nervous on the stage here.
No, you're
It's
good.
Pretty high.
No, believe me, you're natural. But I'm more proud of this next thing I'm going to tell you than I am about the axe handle for my neighbor. Because the group that shows up today, about 10 of them are college kids. So, I'm thinking, okay. So I asked, hey, you guys going to have some lunch today? Oh, yeah, we packed our lunch. I'm like, you packed your lunch? Everybody did? Yeah, and there's about 18 all told out there. And I said, okay, no problem. So I ordered pizza for all the cadre, and I come out, I said, hey, how many of you college kids eat pizza? When I was in college, I lived on pizza and ramen noodles.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, pizza's really good. I said, got you covered, I ordered it, it's on the way. So the kids lit up.
Hey,
And they're not kids, they're young adults.
and they're,
Yeah.
you know what?
So-
We probably don't give them enough credit either because.
But I'm happy to do it.
The younger society right now, the younger kids right now, they don't get enough credit either.
No, they don't. And there's a lot more good out there than bad.
There's way more good than bad.
But, bad news sells fast. Good news travels slow,
It does.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So-
Like I said, I can't thank you for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Let's thank
Right.
Gulf Coast State College. And it's
Thank you,
it's your
Gulf State
show.
College.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my show. It's your show.
This belongs to the community. I'm just a butthead sitting at the desk.
Well, thank you for the opportunity just
absolutely.
to speak. it's not all about me. It's about us, and we can do this. I know it's easier for me than it is for some others that are really hurting right now. But you know, there's a lot of people out there with their arms stretched. Take it.
Like I said, we love you. We know your heart.
Yeah,
Please tell Dan and Mary when you see them, we love them and we miss them.
I will. I was
Absolutely.
really pleased to see him yesterday.
Wonderful
Spent a few
people.
hours with him.
Wonderful people.
Yep.
Bar none.
Thanks.
Till next time, Military Hour. Ben Rossa, my brother, my Chair Force brother.
Thanks. Give you a ride anywhere. Kick you up the back.